Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Steele's Talk. I'm your host Adam Allcroft, and I'd like to thank you for listening to us over the million other podcasts that are available to you. I'm recording this after the first two episodes of Graham Furness and Peter Rinkovich have gone out, and it's amazing to see the brilliant response we've got to those podcasts. Thank you so much for enjoying what we've done so far, and hopefully we're going to be able to provide more of the same over the next few months. In today's episode, we talk to Stocksbridge's longest serving player, Jordan Lemon. He came here in 2018 and he's been an ever-present to the side ever since. We talked to him about his other love of cricket, how a 1 month loan with the Steels became a 6-year stay, and how close he came to leaving the club a few years ago. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy this episode with Jordan Lemon. Well, hello Jordan, thank you for coming on to Steele's Talk, the first current Stocksbridge player to come on and talk to me. You're the brave one, I think.
Am I the guinea pig? Is that what it is?
The absolute guinea pig, because the others are absolutely terrified of talking to me most of the time if there's a microphone involved. I could strike fear into the eyes of Luke Rawson by saying the word interview.
Yeah, bless him. I've still not seen him do one at Belfry either.
Obviously, their media guy's not as forceful as I am.
Unique, mate. One of a kind, aren't you?
Right. Because you're the guinea pig and we're trying to be kind to you as you're starting, we're going to start off talking about something that's, to be honest, bores me to tears. We're going to talk about cricket because that's your...
Perfect.
I think that's one of your big loves in life, I think it's fair to say.
Definitely.
Because right now you're playing for Chesterfield Cricket Club, which is at the very historic Queen's Road. At least Wikipedia tells me it's historic.
Queen's Park.
And you got promoted this year.
We did. The Chesterfield have been they've been announced to be one of the best teams in Derbyshire. So playing the Derbyshire League. Unfortunately, about 5 years ago, they got relegated to Division 1. And then, this past season, we got them back promoted into the Premier League.
I saw you were interim captain at the start of the year. How long did that last for?
I did it for 10 games, or 10 league games. It was a few cup games. Harry Wilmot, the actual captain, I've been a school friend of his since we were 11 or 12. So when he asked me in the winter if I could do it, because he was coming back from a ACL injury, which he picked up playing last season. So he asked me if I could do it, and I was like, yeah, of course, it'd be an absolute honour. Unfortunately, in the first 3 games, we played 3, won 1, lost 2. So at that point, I was getting ready to hand it back to someone else, but no, stuck with it. And luckily, towards the end of the season, we came good and got promoted.
The idea of someone who plays cricket and football is like quite a bit of an old-fashioned idea in many ways, because it's something that happened in the pro game of both sports in the 70s, I think. I mean, Ian Botham played for Scunthorpe United as well as being, one of the best cricket players. And I know Ted Elmsley.
Go on.
But there's also Ted Elmsley, who played for Sheffield United and then played for Shropshire at Bramall Lane when it was a cricket ground.
There's I think the former Arsenal skipper, I can't remember what his name was. He was the same. He played for England for cricket, I believe. This is back in the 20s or 30s. But I just picked it up naturally from my dad when he finished playing football. He started playing cricket, and then growing up, it was football and cricket. They were my 2 sports.
So we're gonna do you one of these like double choice questions. You get a phone call from Derbyshire Cricket Club saying, "Can you play in our Test match tomorrow?" Or you get a phone call just a few minutes later from Chesterfield saying, "We need you at right back on Saturday." You can only do one. Which one would you pick?
No, that's an easy one. That'd be football all day for that one.
So is football still priority over cricket?
It depends who's asking me. If the gaffer's asking me football. But to be fair, the gaffer loves the cricket as well. So this season was the first time I've ever missed a pre-season and the start of the season to finish off my cricket season, because there's an overlap of about 4 or 5 weeks. So I've always missed the last 4 or 5 weeks of the cricket season to concentrate on my football. But as I'm not getting any younger, my cricket you can play until your 40s and 50s. With football, I've probably only got a few years left, so it's slowly moving into the cricket side of things. But the gaffer was really understanding. He was fine. Hence why I've not played a lot this season, but it's completely fine. It's totally understandable. But yeah, it depends who's asking. That's the answer to that question.
Is it helpful? Because Ian Richards is a big cricket fan, played in plenty of cricket teams himself alongside Duncan and his dad, actually. Is it really helpful having someone who is also a big cricket lover rather than maybe someone who would, like me, who doesn't really care much about the sport?
I don't know, it's massive. He's a little bit more understanding of probably well previous managers was. I know. I remember Hilts we had the last pre-season game on a Saturday, and then we had the season start. Well, the football season started the following week, and he's like, "I need you for the last pre-season game." And I was like, "What cricket?" He's like, "Well, you kind of need to pick." So I was like, "Right." So I've been playing football. But that was back in 4 or 5 years ago, probably. But no, yeah, he understands commitments, whether it's other sports, cricket, whether it's work commitments, or the football doesn't pay our bills, doesn't pay our mortgages, unfortunately. So he's very, very understanding of it.
So, because you've spent plenty of time in a cricket dressing room and a football dressing room, are they quite similar, or is there any big differences between the two?
Oh no, massive differences. Our football dressing rooms are totally unique. Our dressing room, some of the things that goes on, like, oh my gosh. Like obviously you see the bus journeys home. There's a few individuals that I'm not going to name. In fact, I'm going to name Ben Townsend.
You just absolutely just dobbed him in there.
That guy's on a different planet. He's one of a kind, but it's the type of people you need to have in your dressing room. Um, Whereas cricket's a little bit more, I wouldn't say more of a gentleman's sport, but it's, if you say anything to an umpire, literally, you're not playing the next week, you can get an instant ban.
So, how do you
So,
play any cricket games?
well, this is it. I kind of take things out on referees because I can't do it on umpires. I take out all my frustration on the referee.
But isn't it the case? Because obviously in cricket you must be in the dressing room a lot. Because is it the case when you're batting and you're not in it, you either have gone out or you're still waiting, you're all in the dressing room together?
Yeah, so it's a weird one, cricket, because it's an individual sport within a team sport. So yeah, as being a bat, you could be out there for 5 minutes, you could be out there batting for 2 hours, and you're soon back in the dressing room. But yeah, everyone stays there and watches the game, sits together. But it's a little bit more chilled. Some guys even like to go for a little sleep before they go out to bat and stuff like that. So it's a little bit more chilled out. There's no loud music on in the change rooms, etc. It's a very chilled environment.
So, but obviously it's not just cricket and football. You've also you like to play a bit of golf as well, as you're a regular at our golf days.
Yeah, golf's one of those sports you need to play it all the time if you want to get any good at it. But no, it's we've got quite a few golfers in the team. Got a few family members who play golf who have naturally, like my grandma, she's nearly 90, she plays every day. So I kind of get things from the family, from my dad, my granddad, my grandma. So yeah, the golf's
Because
another sport which I'm not quite as good at, but yeah, I do love my golf.
you say this, but I've done my research and found out at aged 13 you got a hole in one with your family watching.
Yeah, it was my grandma was it was her lady, she was lady captain, so it was lady captain's day up in she's from the northeast, so up in Newcastle, and yeah, I was one of the guests there playing, and the fourth hole went back on yourself, it went across where the clubhouse is, and yeah, I was 13. I actually thinned it, I didn't hit it well, and yeah, it went straight in, and I just ran off, and everyone was watching.
Was it proper football? So was it a knee slide on the green?
Not quite, not, I've been chucked off, it was more of a just running around like Shearer with one hand in the air.
Is that a Middlesbrough fan saying they ran round like Shearer?
Do you know what? I don't score often, but if you notice when I do, it's always one hand in the air.
I'm gonna have to watch those back now just to.
Yeah,
'Cause
honestly, watch, you'll pick it up now.
you're one of the few we've got every single goal for on film. Admittedly, that's
Yeah,
on one hand, but
yeah. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
some other no, I noted. I didn't properly realise this. I've always known that your dad was a football scout because he scouted for quite a lot of teams. I didn't realise he was a professional player himself.
Yeah, again, he's from Middlesbrough, hence my Middlesbrough supporting connection. Played for Sunderland, and then got transferred to Chesterfield in the early 90s, and then him and my mum settled down here, and me and my sister then ended up just living down here with my mum and dad, and yeah, the rest of the family are back up north. But yeah, this is why I play. Well, that's where we live in Chesterfield, and yeah, it's because he got transferred there from Sunderland.
So when you have like a professional player as a dad, do you think that's a help when you're trying to have a sporting career, or do you think it's a bit of a hindrance because you might have that extra pressure put on you?
I don't say there's pressure as such. It can obviously help in both ways. He knows best. He knows what it takes to make it. And I remember 12 or 13, he was telling me, "Oh, you need to start. I'll get you some weights. You need to start eating better." And I wasn't interested. I just thought because I thought I was good enough, it would have been enough. But looking back, it's something I do wish I kind of listened to him a little bit more. Because sometimes if he's your dad, you tend to not kind of listen to him as much. But yeah, he's been there, done that. He's got over 300-400 appearances in the football league, so he kind of knows what he does know what it takes. But I remember I played. played for Shirebrook. I was like 17 or 18 away Heanor in the FA Vars. And some of the Heanor, I think one or two of the Heanor fans, I was playing right wing at the time and shouted on, like effing and jeffing, you're a failed footballer, your dad will be ashamed, look at the career he's had. I was like, what? Why is that irrelevant? I don't get why you're shouting that at me. But no, and to say it doesn't get to come a lot of our games. Just obviously he's always watching players and other teams doing team reports or whatever team he's scouting for. But he did go to the game at home to Pickering. That's for that left footed volley. So he was a bit shocked to see that one going.
Does that mean we need to get him back to more games so you score more goals?
Yeah, he can do. He can. I think he might be coming to the Cleethorpes game away. So that could be a good omen.
So, the follow-up question was going to be that when your dad has come to see you, as he is a scout, has he ever spotted any players that he's gone recommended to the club he's working for at the time?
Yeah. So I've told him about Iggy. I think Iggy's on loan from Hull with us and is most definitely going to go on to bigger and better things than Stockbridge. That's no offence, obviously, to our club,
I think
but
we can all see it. He is a fantastic defender.
he's an old fashioned centre half, and for a young lad, yeah, he's going to be a
Oh,
really good player. Who else? So Lewis, who used to play for us,
yeah, that's Lewis
Lewis
Witham.
Whittam. Unfortunately, Lewis did his knee, uh, but my dad knew about him. Told him about a fullback for Newcastle Town. He went up to sign for Salford. And then when I was at Stamford just for a few games in pre-season, we had a centre midfielder, Giovanni Brown. We played Scunthorpe in a pre-season friendly, and he did really well against. Giovanni Brown was no longer with Stamford the week after and went on and signed for Cambridge. But yeah, there's been a few really good players. I remember the fullback for Stockton. I forgot what his name is, the right back.
Oh, well, a load of those players were
I
really
know,
good for
I know they're all.
Stockton.
Yeah, told him about him. He went and got watched a few times, but unfortunately, not didn't take a punt on him. But yeah, there's been a few. So I do keep a lookout for any players that we have
So
or
you're a
players that
sort
we
of
play
mini
against.
scout.
Mini scouter than the non-league system because to be fair, clubs, especially as it call out at the minute, and they're unfortunately not doing very well in League Two. But yeah, the non-league is sometimes where if you can find a good young player, then yeah, there's a chance for them to get picked up.
We certain examples. You played alongside Harrison Biggins, didn't you, as well, or was that just
No,
afterwards?
no, no. Harrison. I played against Harrison for numerous clubs, but no, I didn't play. I didn't play with Harrison.
I say just didn't align because obviously he's the biggest, latest name to come from Stocksbridge, but obviously we have
Yeah,
one particular name that I think I've got to down a shot on if I mention him as a way to
yeah.
try and limit me mentioning him.
Let's not mention him.
Scott Hogan, we're obviously talking about.
Yeah, that's it. And Jack Wilson.
Yeah, these strikers, I don't get it. If you even like beforehand, before the certain player, it was always strikers that came from Stocksbridge because it was Lee
I
Mills in
can't
the
believe Ringy
90s.
didn't get moved.
He's too loyal, you see.
Yeah, that's it. Can't buy loads of these days.
Something else I noticed while looking into is that you seem to have done a lot of coaching in America when you were young. What was all of that about?
Someone came into our college, so I must have been 18. No, I was 19. I was in my third year at college, just playing for the college team. Wasn't really taking kind of not football seriously, but it wasn't kind of my main priority. I wanted to go on to uni, etc. But then someone came into the college, gave a big kind of seminar on opportunities in America, and then me and one of my close pals, Brad, he just was like, yeah, let's go for it. So did 2 summers there for about 3 months, and then my third year I went over for about 9 months. Got kind of a club. I got given Cincinnati United, and I was just coaching their young ones from ages from like 6 up to about 10. But yeah, I absolutely loved it over there.
So, what was it like being a young man over in America, presumably away from family? Was it
Oh, I
a
hated
lot?
it. Hated every second of it. It was yeah, horrible. Didn't enjoy it.
Plenty of trouble did you get into from the sounds of it then?
No, silly. That was Ben.
Was it Ben Townsend with you,
Yeah,
did you say?
yeah. No, in it with me. Ben and Ross did a summer over there. They was based up in Connecticut, so I wasn't where they were based. But yeah, they did a summer in America as well.
Is this just something that people from Chesterfield go do? If they're interested in football, they go coach in America.
Yeah, I think. Well, especially when you're young, if you're 18, 19, yeah, the opportunities over in America, it's everything's paid for. Yeah, go have some fun, coach a bit of football, and
We've seen quite a lot of lads from non-league go do these scholarships in America. Kurt and Danny Deacon is one of them. and it led to Danny Deakin's favourite thing of we get to mention Kaká to him every 10 seconds,
Yeah,
as if he's not totally sick of it yet. But is that something you wish you had done? Is got joined one of those colleges and had the scholarship route and got
I
educated over
tried.
there?
No, I tried. So I did 3 years college over here, went over to America for the summer, came back, and then I was like, oh, that's it. I want to go to uni over there. So I applied, got 2 offers, one in South Carolina. I can't remember where the other one was from. Basically, because I took a year out of education, I lost a year's eligibility. So I couldn't got given a
Uh,
full scholarship. So I had to pay like, it's something like £80,000 or dollars, and they don't do student loans or anything like that in America. And so it's I couldn't obviously afford, or my parents couldn't afford to do that. I don't think it's 80. I think it's 50,000 actually. So
Still a
I
lot of
tried
money.
to, yeah, I tried to. So if you don't go straight from education, I think it's a lot harder to get a scholarship.
Would you recommend that route for players going over to America and trying their hand over there?
Playing wise, I'm not sure. Obviously, Kurt and Deeks have played there. Moz has played over there as well. I think Moz actually played in the top university league over there, so he played at a really high standard. But I wouldn't know. Coaching, and if you just want to go explore the world for being a young 17, 18, 19-year-old, then yeah, go for it.
I'm going to talk about Stockbridge soon, but firstly, I want to ask about another club that I quite like because it's a team I went to see a lot of, and it probably turns out I probably saw a lot of you because I was at university the same time you're there. But Lincoln United, because you are a fan favourite over there, I believe.
Yeah, I'll tell. No, I'm not gonna tell a story as such, but yeah, I wind the lads up at Stocksbridge because, well, until last year, until Matt Cotton got into the team of the year, yeah, I don't know how, but yeah, I got into the team of the year in 2017 season, playing fullback, and I always remind Tinks, a few of the other lads, like, oh, team of the year, have you got it yet? Oh, no, what's a shame.
You mean Ben
But
Townsend doesn't bring the fact up to he was on the bench for Team of the
yeah,
Year?
well, it's just typical Townsend, isn't it? But no, Lincoln United, not non-league starter for me, but yeah, they kind of give me an opportunity, and the manager at the time, Fretz, who I played for and under numerous different clubs. Yeah, lovely club. Very similar to Stockbridge, to be honest, very community based. Lots of people behind the scenes who have got the club at the forefront of their mind and their interests. But no, I absolutely loved it. And obviously, if you went a few times, it's a lovely little club.
The news has just come out about Callum Smith, who's been there for I think about 80 years now. He's just left the club. What can you tell me about Callum Smith? Because he's been there 17 years genuinely, and that's an extraordinary amount of time to be at one club.
Oh no, it's insane. Again, you don't get that in no matter what level of football you play. Someone to be there for 17 years is insane. And yeah, it's such a good lad. It's one of the funniest guys I've ever met, Cal, and a really really good player. And still is a good player. And I think he's gone to Boston Town,
Yeah, I think that's what
the
I
same
saw as
division.
well. I don't know
Yeah,
Lincolnshire
same
that
division.
well, so
No, I think there's a few ex-players. I know Fields is it, or might still be at Boston, so there still might be a connection there to a few old players. But no, yeah, to do what he's done and play, what was it, 600 games? I think he played for them.
I think it's like 561, which is just that's
Yeah,
mad.
yeah, great effort.
Is there just something about Lincoln United that breeds loyalty? Because Matthew Cotton, you've mentioned, he's a top player. He always seems to score about 2 goals against us every time we face him. And when they did get relegated a couple of years to the Midlands League, I was like, well, surely he's going to make that move to another step four side or step three, which is probably good for. But he stayed, hasn't he? And it seems like that Lincoln United have a lot of players who've been there for a long time.
Yeah, that's just it sums up. That's what kind of club it is, and the people who are there. It's a club you want to play for and want to do well. Again, Cox he could have played much higher, probably 2 or 3 levels above what he played at. But again, some people aren't motivated or are motivated by different things. If he's happy to play at Lincoln United, then yeah, credit to him.
So we'll move on to the move to Stocksbridge because you were at Matlock Town, which is another team I went to see loads of times before coming to Stocksbridge. You were Dave Frecklington was manager at the time, I believe,
Yeah.
and then you move on loan to Stocksbridge, and it was only meant to be a short term thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, so yeah, Frex, who was with it, Lincoln and Spalding, yeah, he took me to, or asked me to sign for Matlock back from Spalding. I think Matlock being kind of on my doorstep was a no-brainer. Played a few games, and went away to St. Neots in the one of the FA Trophy, I think it is. Got knocked out concussion, so I was out for, well, I couldn't play for 2 weeks. Went to play South Shields away, and I just got a phone call the night before. I was like, oh, like you're not in the squad tomorrow, but I want you to go out and get some games just so you're ready. I thought that's fine. No worries. Had kind of a relationship with Gilts, just we've always been in contact, just playing against Stocksbridge, and yeah, I always admire how his team played. Myself at Stocksbridge, the pitch an absolute carpet. Kind of like, yeah, let's ask him if he needed a right back for a month, and he was like, yeah, come join us. As I was on loan at Stocksbridge for this must be about the third week in, Prex released the other right back. So I was like, oh, perfect. I'll just straight back to Matlock. And then a week later, he gives me a call. Obviously, I think he's going to ask me to come back. And he's like, oh, Len, I'm signing. I think it's Lee Beavers, his name is. He's ex like Lincoln City and Mansfield, like a season pro. He's like, I just need you just to stay at Fair Office State Stockbridge again this season. I was like, all right, cheers. So I ended up staying, and Prex ended up losing his job at Matlock. So yeah, ended up just staying, and yeah, loved it. Loved it every game since.
Because it's been pretty much 6 years. Because it's December, I think, December
Yeah,
2018.
yeah.
So did you had when you thought, oh, I'm just going there for a month? Did you ever think, oh, I'm still going to be there in 2024?
Do you know what? I think it was Ross I spoke to. It might have been like a year or two in, and I said to him, I was like, I'll end up finishing my career at Stocksbridge. Like, it's again, lovely club. There's no need to go and want to play football elsewhere. Obviously, people, especially down at our level, playing for Stocksbridge, you can go to other clubs, lower divisions, and pick up double your money. I'm not going to name any names who's done that. And everyone's naturally, it's if you get offered more money in a different job, then why wouldn't you go and take it? So yeah, if people obviously want to move for different reasons, but I said to Ross years ago, I was like, I'll finish up my career at Stockbridge. I know that. So yeah, I don't have no plans on leaving unless the gaffer wants to get rid of it.
So you were in what was actually a very good like Stocksbridge squad in 2018-19. That were very close to the playoffs, and we all know about Stocksbridge's lower budget, so it was very impressive. What was that squad like, and did you think that you would be able to push into the top five?
I think so. My actual first year, we were fighting relegation, and we had an unbelievable team, like insane. Don't know how they were fighting relegation, but yeah, the second year, no, I always knew budgets are irrelevant. Like it doesn't matter who you get in. Sometimes the more money you offer people, got a higher chance of getting kind of a few egos in your team and a few kind of players dropping down from step two, step three, and yeah, they've not got the kind of the club at heart or the club's best interest. They just want to go for a kind of a payday, which is fair enough. So sometimes actually having a lower budget can actually help a team in a
I think
weird way.
Jack Tinker said the same when he was doing Dakia's documentary in the summer. Makes you hungrier.
Yeah, yeah, it does and especially playing against other clubs who have got a lot better resources than us. Having that underdog mentality can kind of, well, it does help you, and it gives you that extra 5-10% you need on a match day.
Obviously, that Hilton squad was, and it was looking good before the pandemic hit as well in
Yeah,
2020. Was it just a good spirit around the team? Because that was when I started coming in. You could tell that everyone was good friends within the squad.
yeah, and to be fair, I think the budget's a lot worse now than it was in that kind of time. But yeah, it's quite similar to the squad we've got now. Just players wanting to play for the club, quite a few lads who were, he had a couple of Sheffield lads, a couple of Donny lads. So they kind of he had different kind of friendships within the squad. So no, it was a close knit squad, and yeah, it was a shame obviously COVID came and ruined it.
Is there any stories you can tell about any of the lads in that squad? And although do make them legal, because I know Josh Nodder was in that squad.
Yeah, this is it. It's just Nodder. That's all. I can't say anything. But it's Nodder.
Does every squad need a character like that? Because obviously we've got Townsend now, and we know the things Townsend says, and it's very amusing. And Nodder seemed to fit that role before. And does every squad need a bit of a character? I think is the politest way of saying it.
Oh no, definitely. It's massively important to a team's kind of a team's morale as well. Sometimes you can lose games, and you need someone who's always positive, who's always going to have a joke around and have a laugh with everyone. Otherwise, you're going into training, you're going into match days, just kind of all sat there. Especially the young lads these days, they just want to come and sit on the phone and not talk to anyone. So actually having Townsend there to annoy people, I think it's needed.
Obviously, towards the end of Hilton's time, the very shortened season, it wasn't a brilliant time, other than a few odd games, and then he quit very quickly into 21-22. So we have that change. Ian Richards comes in after a bit. What was your thinking when Hilton left, and then when the change came of Ian Richards becoming the new manager?
fair, that's the only time where I've nearly left, just because Tomo didn't get the job, but was kind of interim manager, and yeah, I remember Hiltz kind of quitting. We played handles in the cup, and he did the change rooms, and yeah, he was obviously visibly really upset, which kind of riled me and a few of the other senior players at the time.
I remember standing outside that dressing room waiting to do an interview with Chris Hilton that never happened because he had
Yeah,
quit. And I heard so
yeah,
many loud voices. I saw some storming off.
yeah. I remember Luds were chucking his boots around. So he understood what the club meant to Hilts, and yeah, as players we massively let him down. But then Tomo kind of filled in, and he was Hilts' assistant, so everyone wanted to do well for Tomo. And then yeah, Lee Attenborough, who's the development manager, he was at Loughborough at the time. He was like, "Do you want to come in?" Yeah, 'cause there was two of the lads there who I played with at Lincoln, Nodder and Jaffa, seeing that Hilts obviously got, well, not sacked, but Hilts left. And he asked me if I wanted to come. I was like, oh. And that's the only time where I've been doing all right. But I wanted to have a conversation with Richo first before making the decision. And Richo's like, no, I want you to stay. So yeah, I ended up staying. I'm glad I did.
So what did Richo say to you to persuade you to stay?
No, it wasn't. Not. It wasn't anything to persuade me to stay. It was more of what his plans were for the club. He sat all the lads down and had a meeting and what he expected from everyone. In his first training session, the intensity just rose 30-40%. It was crazy, and it was someone who I knew straight away I was going to get along with him. And me and him always joke about it. But I kind of wish I had him as my manager back when I was like 20, 21, 22. Because I do feel like he'd have kicked me on a lot more than maybe previous managers would have. Just more in terms of kind of tactical sense, he's my manager, whereas my manager at the time, Frex, I love Frex to bits. He's the world for me. But Frex is an old school manager, and yeah, having a mixture of maybe Frex and Richer would have been an ideal combination. But yeah, he's a really good manager, and yeah, so I'm glad I stayed.
I remember back at that time, and it was interesting because I remember me and Richard Hayes, who did the media at the time, when Hilton left and Richard came in, we were basically planning for, there's going to be a whole squad change because that's typically what happens in non-league when a
Yeah,
manager changes. That you have like 10 players leave and 10 come in, and yet that just didn't happen. We had a couple leave, and obviously a few
yeah.
people started filtering in. How did he manage that with the squad, and how did he keep the dressing room up after obviously they were so despondent at Answorth when Hilton resigned?
Yeah, I think he could have come in and just kind of ripped the team apart and got rid of everyone straight away. Then he brought his own players and it doesn't work. Then yeah, he doesn't kind of look good in that sense. But he brought in players who he needed to bring in, brought Kurt back, eventually brought TC in, and a few kind of other connections he had. Eventually, he got rid of players who might not fit his way of playing, or not an ego thing, but if you didn't want to work hard for the team, then yeah, you're not going to fit into Richo's team because he wants you front foot in everyone's faces. And if you're not willing to do that, then yeah, you won't last long. But he had that balance well, and yeah, we did well in his first season considering the.
And that was the year where we just kept scoring worldie after worldie, weren't it? With Nat
I
Cross
know,
and
yeah,
Nodder. It was handy. It was nice for the end of season highlight reels, at least. Made my life easy.
those goals were insane that year, like absolutely crazy.
I remember editing that highlight reel at the end of the goal of the season vote and just going, these all could be goal of the year.
Oh, easy, easy. They were absolutely mental.
Just Nat and Nodder just having a competition within themselves, I think. Especially that Dunstan game.
Yeah, in the fog.
Oh god, there's that one. Yeah, you just remember the Stockton.
No,
I'm thinking,
that was
I was
Stockton in the
thinking
fog.
of Dunstan, the last home game where I think Nat took one
Oh,
from
the
30
volley.
yards and curled it,
Yeah.
and then yeah, Nodder just teed himself up for one. It was just like felt like they just wanted to outdo each other.
No, I remember. Both really good players and still scoring goals like that to this day.
Over time, obviously back then you were starting. Now you are more of a squad player,
Hmm.
and that has been a transition because we've had Bailey Baker. Now we've got Tom Charlesworth. There's Kyle Austin. I think snapping at both your heels at the moment
Yeah.
for a place in the first team. How has that transition been for you to accept that, most of the time I am going to be on the bench?
A lot easier than I thought I'd have handled it. Yeah, again, me and Pete joke. Probably last year and the year before when I'm on the bench, like, I'm kicking and heading every single ball. Whereas this year, it's kind of just a bit more, I'm a little bit more chilled. But again, it came from having no pre-season because of cricket, coming in after 5 or 6 league games, lads are flying, DC's absolutely having an unbelievable season. So yeah, I've not got, I can't turn around and say I need to be start. I want to be starting. I've not got a leg to stand on. So yeah, I've just been waiting for my time, and obviously Tinks got suspended, but there were the 3 games I missed due to my work commitments. And now TC's suspended again, so I've had to fill in and come in it right back. But no,
So
I've had a conversation with Richo, and I understand what my role is and being that senior player and trying to help us, any of the young lads, because we have got a very, very young squad this year. And yeah, I'm looking more towards my career after football in terms of playing. I'm picking up a lot from Richo, and Richo's even sat me down and said if I need, or if I think that the team needs anything in terms of drills that need doing in training, or looking at it from different point of views, just to make sure to let him know. But yeah, I want to get into kind of management and the coaching side of the non-league side. So yeah, Richo's a perfect kind of person to shadow and ask for advice as well as Ringy and Pete. So no, I've taken it very well, and I'm actually really, really enjoying my football this year, whether I'm playing or sat watching and giving as much advice and help as much as I can.
secretly though, when we were at that Heaton Stannington match and TC gets that tackle and the red card comes in, are you secretly going, yes, that's 3 starts for me over the next few weeks?
No, because it came over Boxing Day, New Year's Day, and now Cleethorpes away. So I would have much preferred to have a drink over Christmas. Uh, but no, I'll never think that. TC's been probably it probably has been our best player this year in terms of consistency. So the last thing I want to see is one of our best players get suspended.
With Tom Charles, he was with us about 5 years ago when you were here at your first spell.
Yeah.
How has he changed? Because obviously now he is one of the best players in the squad, but back then I think you and Ben Rhodes were beating him to the right back spot.
Yeah, he was only young. He was old. What was he? He must have been what 19, 20 at the time. No, he's come back from playing week in week out at Penistone. Yeah, it's just that consistency he's got now is fitter than he's ever been. So yeah, you can't knock him. And fellow right back, absolutely love it.
Did he have the hairband back then as well?
He might have done. I don't know actually. He had long hair, but I don't think he had a headband in.
So obviously that's something he's picked up at Penistone.
Yeah, that's a good question actually. I'll have to ask him about that.
But obviously James Morris was playing for that team as well, weren't he?
Yeah, Moz on loan. To be fair, he was a speedboat no driver at the time. I think he was 19. The year before he went to America, and yeah, he was so quick, but he was like a rabbit in headlights. Like on his one-on-ones and stuff like that. But he's come back, and yeah, I don't know how we signed him from Matlock. I went to watch Matlock against Spalding a few months ago, and Moz played, and yeah, he was one of the best players on the pitch. So to then find out we were signing him, I was like, what? How? So credit to them again to Richo for selling him the dream of Stocksbridge again. But he'll go on and play higher. No doubt about that. He's an unbelievable striker.
I think Chris Hilton might actually be coming on to this podcast soon. There has been some
Oh,
talk, and I might ask him which of his loanees is he going to recommend to Richo next.
that's fair enough. Yeah.
Seems to work out at the moment.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm trying to think of other ones that we
Well,
have
there was
that
Mitch Langton as well, weren't there, who was
Yeah,
at the club
Mitch
before
played. Yeah.
and then came back and was a much better player when he came back.
Yeah, he's a Rolls Royce Mitch.
So we've covered why you stayed this on, but and you've just mentioned future plans. Is your plan to go into coaching after this?
Yeah, not necessarily coach. I, I'm still, yeah, it's more, I'd like to stay in kind of non-league, because that's what I've known. I've had opportunities to go down the scouting route for, obviously, just like my dad has. But yeah, I've had conversations with my old man, and professional game, it's a fickle sport. And yeah, if you think there's no loyalty in non-league, then at the professional level, you get thrown under the bus left, right, and centre. So it'll come the next few years. I need to see whether I want to go into kind of non-league managing or kind of go down the scouting route. But yeah, I definitely want to stay in sport. And yeah, if I get a free Saturday, I don't know what to do with myself. So I'll definitely within the playing football or coaching, managing, scouting, doing whatever.
So when Ian Richards gets picked up by Manchester United, obviously because they need someone to fix that mess, would you be wanting to take over the touchline at Brackenmore?
I'd be the first one to put my hand up. I'd be knocking on Grange's door. So let's hope it doesn't go in the next 5 to 10 years.
You've seen this on Twitter. We have been trying to collect some fan questions,
Yeah.
and I have had some sent privately as well.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to ask them all. Don't worry.
So I'm sure most of them are not suitable for people's ears.
So, first question is from Mike Bailey, a photographer we have up quite a
Yeah.
lot and someone else we're going to try and get on the podcast at some point. Which Stocksbridge player, past or present, would you most like to share a hot tub with?
I'd like to share it with none of them. They're all scruffs. Who would I like to? Well, I've shared a hot tub with quite a few of them. I take them down to our work, for sort of few recovery sessions. Me and Tinks have had a few moments in the hot tub together, so yeah, I'll probably say my mate Tinks.
Oh, how sweet. The next question is from Harry Verity, which is always a worrying thing to hear. How many times a day do you think about the time you turned into a prime David Seaman? And this is referring to your handball at Pontefract, where your Suarez moment, which Ed Hall then saved.
I've got one of our customers at work, and I go visit them every 6 months. He's based in Ponty, and he's a massive Ponty fan, and he was there at that game. He didn't realise it was me till I went to my next meeting. I told him about it. I think about that quite often, and that was the last time I played at Ponty. I've always been suspended. Or last year, I just didn't get on last year, unfortunately. But yeah, previous 2 years I was suspended, even home and away. Yeah, hopefully I don't have to do that again, but if needed.
Was that man the one that was shouting the expletives at you after you were watching from the tunnel?
No, it wasn't him. What did he say to me? I can't remember.
I can't repeat what he said to you, but because I watched it the other night, he swears at you quite loudly right in front of our camera.
Yeah.
He was not happy with you.
No. Well, it has to be done, unfortunately, especially against Ponty. They're always big games, and yeah, they're a class team, they're a physical team, so yeah, any abuse is welcome.
It was that season against Ponty because the reverse fixture was the Ben Partridge goal.
Oh yeah, to be fair, it kind of kicked off there because I celebrated thinking we've won. I thought the ref gave full time, but he gave a foul, so I've ran on, and then it's not a full time, so I've kind of gone back to the dugout. Full time then happened, I ran back on, and then after one of their players just grabbed me by the neck. But that was unintentional. I thought the ref gave full time, that's why I ran on. But yeah, they're always good games against Ponty.
All right, and this one's from Adam Teasdale, another one of our fantastic fans.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, what would be your Stocksbridge five-a-side team from the players you've played with over the years?
Oh, that's a great question.
So shall we go goalkeeper and then 4 outfielders?
Oh, do I have to say Townsend?
I mean,
I'm not. I'm going to go Jacob Carney. He was unbelievable.
That's going to drive Townsend mad. He's going to be on your case now.
I mean, he did play for Man United. Currently playing at Newport. He played at Sunderland. So I think he just gets over Townsend.
So however you set up your other 4.
Yeah, I'm not going to pick myself because I'm crap at five-a-side.
Are we thinking Reece Fielding or Charlie Oglesby?
Nah, Chaz turns like Titanic. I won't pick Chaz. I'm probably going to go Iggy or El, one of those two.
You got to pick. I'm going to force you to pick one.
Elliot
Owen.
I'm going Elliot. Elliot's not bad on the ball as well.
Yes, he's really good on the ball, isn't he? I didn't expect that.
Yeah. Reece. I'm going to go Reece as well. Reece is good on the ball.
So you've got 2 more players. So is that a midfielder and attacker you're thinking of here?
I'm going to go Alec Wild in the field.
He is a top player.
On the midfielder, I'm going to go...
It's five-a-side, mate. You've only got 1 more. You picked 2 defenders.
Oh, yeah, I've done that. Wait, I've got 1 keeper, 2 defenders. Oh, yeah, I need an attacker then. I need an attacker, don't I? Okay, get rid of Reece.
Oh, sorry, Reece.
Yeah, I'll keep Elliot. Yeah, Alex Wild and Scott Rutherford is an unbelievable five-a-side player.
Really?
His touch is a joke, so I'm getting Scott in there.
He's having a fantastic year.
And then up top, I'm going Mangy.
Well, just a shame he can't score penalties against us, isn't it?
No, well, let's hope he keeps it that way, but yeah.
I'm taking that digging because he's the loveliest person and he'll take it completely and be so nice, but then he'll score against us probably when we do on New Year's Day.
Crowd.
Yeah, well, this comes out after New Year's Day, thankfully, so...
That's good.
But, yep, they were the fan questions. So, Joe, thank you very much for joining us. And just to tell everyone, we've had like half an hour's worth of technical issues trying to set this thing up beforehand, which has been making me turn bald trying to sort it out.
Well, hopefully everything's all good and we've not bored everyone or people can listen to this and go to sleep. It's not a problem.
I don't think we'll have bored anyone. I think you're being too harsh on yourself. I think it's been great to have, Stockbridge's longest serving player here.
No problem.
Thank you very much for joining us and going through all those technical issues.
No, pleasure, mate. No, thanks for having me, and hopefully a few more players hop on, and looking forward, especially if Phil jumps on, that should be
Definitely, we are going to try and wrangle some more players, especially from that era, very soon. So thank you very much, Jordan Lemon.
No worries, thank you.
Well, that was brilliant, and I'd like to thank Jordan Lemon again for sharing his time with us. So if you enjoyed this podcast and want to support us, please give us 5 stars and a review on whatever platform you're listening to us on. We're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, we're on Amazon Music, we're on some podcast services that I've never even heard of before. But if you give us 5 stars and a review, ideally positive, but apparently it doesn't really matter what you say on it. It really does help us. It gets us seen by more people on these platforms, and that means more listeners, and then it just kind of goes like a big ball getting bigger and bigger down the hill. Also, if you're a former Stocksbridge player, official, or manager, or anything to do with the club, and you'd like to be on the podcast, please do get in touch. We're always looking for guests for future episodes, and we'd love to hear from you, because no matter who you are, no matter how much you have to do with the club, I think everyone's got an interesting story to tell, and we'd like to tell it. Anyway, I've been Adam Allcroft, and I'll see you for the next episode.